Single vehicle rollovers happen every day. Rollovers are particularly common in the poultry and egg industry, due in part to the design of feed and live haul trucks and trailers, the roads on which we drive, and often driver error. Rollover accidents are frequent and very serious. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration conducted a study of truck accidents. They found that 18% of heavy truck accidents resulting in fatalities or incapacitating injuries to the driver or passengers were caused by rollovers. This program is designed to increase your understanding of rollover accidents. What causes a rollover accident? It's often attributed to driving too fast for the road or weather conditions. But let's go beyond that general answer and look closely at the many factors that impact the likelihood of a rollover accident. You may be surprised to learn just how easy it is to roll over a heavy truck. We'll look at 3 issues that affect the potential for a rollover accident: vehicle design and performance, road design and conditions, and driver factors. The goal, of course, is fewer rollovers and a safer experience for our drivers and fleet. The design and performance of feed haul and live haul vehicles may contribute to a rollover accident. Consider these factors: a high center of gravity with a top-heavy load, the length and width of the truck or tractor-trailer unit, the weight of the unit including the payload, the turning radius of the unit. A flexible trailer frame may allow excessive torque in the trailer. Cab design may impair road visibility, particularly of the shoulder. The trailer may not follow the track of the tractor when turning at higher speeds. While each of these factors may contribute to a rollover, drivers need to understand the impact of a high center of gravity on feed haul and live haul trucks. A vehicle's center of gravity is the point around which the object is balanced in all directions. A high center of gravity relative to an object's width creates an unstable object. A vehicle with a high center of gravity will allow the unit to lean when entering a turn. The extent of that lean is influenced by the vehicle's speed, the sharpness and banking of the turn, and the unit's center of gravity. Although the term is sometimes misused, centrifugal force is experienced when inertia, the resistance of an object in motion to change speed and direction, overcomes the application of steering in a curve or turn. This causes the vehicle to lean toward the outside of the curb, resulting in a shift in its center of gravity. This shift may lead to a rollover. A comparison of trucks may help illustrate why feed haul and live haul units are more susceptible to rollover. A standard box van trailer has a total height of 13 feet 6 inches. The average load center of gravity is at 7 feet 8 inches, or 57% of the unit's height. A live haul trailer is 13 feet 4 inches high, and the load center of gravity is at 8 feet 10 inches, or 67% of the trailer's height. For feed haul, an average trailer is 12 feet 5 inches high, and the load center of gravity is 8 feet 8 inches, or 70% of the unit's height. As the illustrations show, the center of gravity is much higher relative to the total height in live haul and feed haul units. With an articulated vehicle, a tractor and a trailer, the driver may not feel the shift in the trailer's center of gravity until it is too late to react. The shift in the center of gravity is the beginning of the rollover. The trailer's higher center of gravity may allow the trailer's inside wheels to lift off the ground, while the flexibility of the trailer frame and the pivot point between the tractor and trailer allow the tractor's wheels to stay on the ground. The driver's first indication is when the trailer has reached the point of no return and starts to pull the tractor over. This is one reason drivers often state the load shifted when describing a rollover. Another measurement of rollover susceptibility is the unit's rollover threshold, the ability of the unit to resist rollover based on height, width, and center of gravity. As the chart shows, passenger cars have a rollover threshold of approximately 1.3. Pickups have a rollover threshold of 1.1. SUVs 0.9. Box van tractor trailers 0.5. And feed and live haul trucks approximately 0.3. The lower the threshold number, the more likely the unit is to roll. Under the same speed and road conditions, feed haul and live haul units are 333% more likely to roll than a passenger car, and 67% more likely to roll than a standard box van tractor trailer. The condition of the vehicle plays a part as well. Poor brake performance, damaged suspension, underinflated tires, improperly secured cargo, and other issues may contribute to a rollover. An adequate pre-trip inspection can eliminate many of these factors. We've shown that vehicle design and performance certainly impact the potential for a rollover accident. Now, let's look at potential road design and conditions. These include sharp or improperly banked curves, steep downhill grades, soft shoulders, berms, mounds, and curbs, and narrow driveway entrances or exits. You should identify the high-risk sections of regularly traveled routes. When possible, routes to destinations such as grow-out farms should be surveyed in advance to help identify and avoid high-risk areas. Proceed cautiously until you are comfortable and familiar with the route. Posted speed advisories for roadway curves are for passenger automobiles operating in good weather conditions and not for heavy trucks. Fleet safety experts recommend truck drivers lower their speed at least 10 miles per hour less than the posted limit when entering a curve. Curves that are incorrectly banked will increase the possibility of a rollover. Long downhill grades may lead to excessive speed. Your brakes should be in proper adjustment and you should shift to a lower gear. The only acceptable time to deal with downhill grades is before you start your descent. Do not rely on your feel to estimate your speed. Remember that the larger the vehicle, the slower the driver thinks it is moving. Always check your speedometer before entering curves, ramps, and downhill grades. Drivers should be aware of the shoulder conditions. Dropping off onto a soft shoulder may allow the outside wheels to sink and trip the entire unit on its side. When the tires hit a curb, a berm, or mound of earth, the vehicle abruptly stops moving sideways and may be pulled onto its side. Tripping is common on entrance or exit ramps that have a curb on the outside of the curve. When traveling a little too fast, the trailer wheels will track outside of the tractor wheels. Although the tractor successfully navigates the turn, the trailer tires may swing out a little wider, hitting the curb and tripping the unit. A simple rule of thumb is to allow about 3 feet of clearance between the tractor's tires and the outside curb. The trailer tires should be clear of the curb even if off-tracking occurs. An improper recovery may lead to a reverse tripping condition. After going off the roadway, the driver may attempt to bring the tractor back onto the roadway too quickly and at too fast of a speed. This maneuver may trip the unit when the tires hit the shoulder, berm, or pavement on the return. Wide intersections may cause drivers to be too confident when turning. Always gear down and reduce speed before the turn. Generally, truck drivers are taught to square the turn at slow speeds to reduce the impact of off-tracking. However, loads that have a high center of gravity must be driven differently through intersection turns. Drivers must flatten the turn to reduce any abrupt change in the direction of their trailer. Finally, many rollovers occur entering or exiting a farm. Sliding the tandem into a ditch by cutting short on the turn is the most common of errors. Be aware of soft berms and narrow culverts. Wet weather may soften berms. Narrow culverts may allow the rear tandem to slip off the driveway and into the ditch, overturning the unit. Where possible, making a left turn into a driveway is safer than a right turn, giving the rear tandem more room to track the tractor's path.